Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes, and you're listening to the Business Bootcamp Podcast. Today's episode 238, and today we're talking about what you need to do in the first day when you hire your new employees. Before we get into today's show, though, I want to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is cashflowtool.com/bootcamp. That's the URL you can go to and try out their software for free. And if you buy it, they're giving you a special $5 a month off discount, which is, it's only $19 anyways, but it's hanging out on $14 a month. This is an absolute no-brainer in my opinion. If you have QuickBooks, if you use QuickBooks, it's an easy integration and allows you to keep track of when cash is coming in, when cash is going out, when you're going to have plenty of cash on hand, and then times that you need to prepare for when things are going to get a little thin. In my industry, landscaping, and in so many other industries that are seasonal, cash flow is one of the biggest reasons people go out of business. And so I promise you, if you have QuickBooks, I just go try it out. Give it a couple week try. Use the software. See how the calendar features work as far as telling you when you need to be, keeping cash on hand, when big expenses are coming up, and keeping track of your expenses as well is all integrated into the app. Check it out today. Go to cashflowtool.com/bootcamp. Get a free trial, and when you buy, you get $5 off per month. So that is something haven't talked a whole lot about recently, but thank you to the sponsors. Really do appreciate you guys. It gives me the time to spend answering questions and things like that. So thank you to them. If any listeners out there have a question on how to start, grow, or save your business, go to businessbootcamppodcast.com or email me at businessbootcamppodcast@gmail.com, and I would love to see what I can do for you. So a couple things, kind of update you, kind of what's going on in my career business kind of thing going on. Right now, literally as I am recording this, I am packing I'm leaving in Minneapolis for a week and starting training for the new gym that I am acquiring for Anytime Fitness. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to learn a lot over there. I'll probably literally get like 10 episodes worth of content just in all the training that I'm doing. But it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and I'm looking forward to the experience, looking forward to learning how Anytime Fitness trains their new franchisees and gets them on board and trained in their software and their systems and the things that they kind of, their ethos as far as when it comes to business. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it so that we can replicate it with our company as we franchise it in the next 12 months or so. Big announcement today. If you are a landscaper, this is for you. And I'll make sure I mention it on the other podcast for landscapers. But if you have asked me, and there's many of you have asked me about a seminar, a live conference that you can come to, I am officially hosting one this coming January. January 2019, I am hosting a landscapers conference. It's for landscapers, by landscapers. I have some of the best speakers in the country really coming to the event. They're going to be speaking to us. It's a 3-day event, and it's in Bellingham, small city, but the hotel is right next to the airport. It's super, super perfect. And so I didn't do it in like a crazy, super fancy hotel, so you can actually do it for pretty cheap. And the tickets right now are early bird, so they're only $299. It's just like, I highly, 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 highly recommend you do this. The amount of content that we're going to be covering during that conference is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be jam-packed. And when I say jam-packed, I want it jam-packed. Like, I want people to be able to come away from that conference saying it was a conference they learned the most. Not necessarily that they had the nicest room or the nicest swag bag or like, we're not going to have big exhibit halls and things like that. We're going to be going and we're going to be trying to work on our businesses and make them better. So if you're a landscaper, you're going to want to check out landscapebusinesscourse.com/conference and sign up right now. You're getting $200 off on that ticket, so it's only $299. And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'll be there every single day. My team will be there, and we were actually talking yesterday with my team, and I'd really love to do like a Q&A with like our office manager, estimator, project manager, and let you guys ask them questions on how we kind of run things internally, and so you can get ideas, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great conference, and it's going to be a lot of fun connecting with all the Landscape Business Course members. So check it out, landscapebusinesscourse.com/bootcamp. Now let's jump into today's show and the meat of what we want to talk about. It's not a long episode, but it's something that I think is super important. And that's what you do on the first day for your new hires. So as you're hiring new people, as you're getting new people on your team, what are you doing to train them, get them in your systems, etc.? But what about the first day? Like, what does that orientation day look like? And the reason I'm talking about this is because we are hiring people, and as we grow, we've been hiring quite a bit. Like, literally, this is Nut Bar Factor 6. So I was thinking about yesterday morning, a year and a half ago, at my landscaping company. Like, I've always had online help and just from people that like freelancers that I don't know personally and not in the office. I've always had them working with me online for like the podcast, things like that. But as far as like employees at my landscaping company, a year and a half ago, there was 2 employees. I had an office manager and someone out in the field. A year and a half later, fast forward till now, and we're looking at a team of like 15 plus people and growing at the rate of 1 person per month. So that's kind of our goal. So like last week we hired 2 people. Well, a week ago we hired someone, and then yesterday I hired someone. So yeah, I guess last week 2 people. But right now our goal is kind of like 1 person per month as far as onboarding them, getting them trained, and we want to kind of keep it at that rate so we don't have too many new people on staff. And so 1 person per month is where we're at now, and literally, after I acquire Anytime Fitness, very quickly we'll be at 20 people, that I kind of are my quote-unquote employees or on my team. And so that's kind of cool. A year and a half ago, like we were thinking about yesterday, my office manager and I, and just like how crazy and weird that is. Super awesome, been a lot of fun. And the thing is, though, how do you retain those people? How do you find them? I know last time we talked about how do you find, hire, and retain people. But what about today? We're talking very specifically 1 day. What do you do on the first day of hiring that new employee? So the ethos behind this is that so oftentimes people employers make a big deal of when people are leaving. People are retiring, or they're moving away, or they're getting a new job, or they're getting promoted. And then they throw like a big party, and it's all like super, fantastic, and everyone's patting them on the back and talking about them, how great they are, and all that. But what about the first day? So oftentimes when someone has their first day of work, they're just thrown into the mix. They're quickly walked around to all the people in the office. They're given their name as if they were supposed to remember what it was. And no one cares. The people are annoyed that are working. They are annoyed that this person is walking around and disturbing them in their cubicle. And they're expected to see all these people and see all their names. And they are quickly thrown into their office. And they are, the whole first day is filled with paperwork and making sure payroll is set up and making sure that they have their login for the company portal and the dashboard, and they are given a tour of the office, and that's basically where it stops. And I'm on this kick right now, and we are getting better, but we still aren't where I want it to be as far as how do we orientate our new hires from the stage of interview to where they're actually on the team. And so when they start that first day, after the first day, they feel like they're part of the team. How do you get them incorporated quickly? How do you get them to buy in quickly? And how do you make them feel special that they actually buy in quick into the team? Because this is the thing. With the new employees, I believe it takes most of the time, them weeks, if not months, to really buy into the ethos of the company, what the objectives are, what the goals of the company are, what you're all about as the employer and their boss, your vision for the company, your mission statement, whatever it is. A lot of times it takes weeks, if not months, for someone to really buy into that and really give themselves to it. And I think you can really do that in a much shorter time by giving them the tools, resources, and giving them the attention they need up front. Because this is why I believe people throw parties when people leave, and yet when people show up to the job for the first day, they get like this lackluster orientation, and they're thrown into kind of like a bunch of minutia of paperwork and payroll stuff. The reason I believe that is because when people hire new people on their team, they're basically kind of crossing their fingers that they work out, and if they do, great, and if they're there for 10 years and then they throw them a party when they leave because they like them, great, and then they're kind of crossing their fingers hoping that they also don't quit after a week, or it doesn't work out after a month and a half or 2 months. And so people aren't willing to put the upfront effort into going in that first day, making a great orientation, investing time, energy, resources, emotional energy into that individual. And then people wonder why they leave after a week and a half or 2 months or a year. It's because you never upfront gave them the things they needed as a human being to feel invested in the company. And so I'm not saying that our system is perfect right now. It's absolutely not. It's way less than I want right now. But what we do for our first day, for regardless of who's getting hired, what position they're in, they spend the entire first day with me. And so I probably can't do this, once we have more, I hire more than like 100 people. But everything from the time they first call our office or go online and fill out a form to be hired with us, and they're screened by the office people, and then they come to interviews, and then they're interviewed by me, and then they kind of come to a second interview with me, and I tell them all about the company and give them lots of information about history and like all that stuff. And then when they come the first day, they spend the entire day with me. And so what do we do with that? So obviously there's the paperwork stuff has been taken care of. So I like to get that stuff out of the way. So they usually, let's say they get hired June 1st. June 15th, they are going to be starting their first day. Before that, they are required to do their drug test, their background check, fill out, the W-4, whatever it's called for employer, for our payroll stuff. They are required to read our employee handbook and sign it. They're required to, all the standard stuff, their employee contract with their compensation, what that's going to be, sign that, read that. Like all the paperwork stuff is taken care of. They do all the drug tests and all that stuff. They have to get it submitted. They get their uniform. That's all before day one. When day one rolls around, let's say it's June 15th, 2 weeks afterwards, they are coming to work. They have a uniform, and they are basically with me the whole day. So what they're going to do is, number one, my main goal in having that day is not so much for, like, half of it's for them, I'd say, and then half of it is for them to buy into me. And so what I mean by that is they're going to see how my kind of day unfolds, like kind of behind the scenes of, the guy that drives around in the truck all day. They're going to see actually what I'm doing. The estimates, the meetings, the phone calls, the communication. They're going to see like how jam-packed it is, how every single minute is being used, how so many moving parts of the business, and then they're going to kind of get a high-level view of from day one, they get to see the behind the scenes. From day one, they get we were talking about the financials of the company, where we make money, where we don't, how we're trying to improve, trying to get their feedback on that, where they right off the bat see where areas of improvement are. We are talking about not just the company, but also their future, what they want out of life. Like that's all been out in the interview process. Usually the second interview is a lot about them, what they want long term, and then we try to figure out where we can put them on the bus that would accommodate those goals and make sure that they realize those objectives and be able to do those things that they're passionate about, things like that. And so, for instance, like yesterday, one of the girls that we hired, she is going to be in the office, and then she's also going to be kind of probably doing some management stuff for Anytime Fitness. She's going to be kind of doing one of our offices and then some of the gym. And she is really, really into health and well-being, and she's gotten into CrossFit in the past 3 years and really, really into it. So the gym was kind of a natural fit, but I want to train her on Augusta stuff in my landscaping company so that she can learn there and then translate a lot of those same that same training and the same skills over to the gym. But like for her, it was all about wanting to help people long term. She was thinking about medicine. She was thinking about becoming a nurse, things like that. But really, the objective for her was helping individuals with their health and seeing what working out had done for her and confidence and her physical health, and then being able to give that to other people. So it was a natural fit for like a trainer, things like that. But then knowing that's their long-term goal, then that's why I switched. She was literally coming for a job for landscaping, like being out in the crew, and being after, this is why it's so important in the interviewing process to talk about what they want long-term, what their goals are, because I was able to pick that up and then be like, oh, by the way, we have this other spot you could work, would work much better for those long-term goals. Like if I put her out in the field, she might be around for a year, but if it's not aligning with her long-term goals, she's not going to be with us long-term. And so if I can put her in a place that she's going to be more comfortable, that she is going to be more successful, I should say, and that is going to put her in a position that she wants to be in long term, that's a win-win. That's great for the company. That's great for the individual. The problem is so many people don't ask those questions. What do you want? Really get to know what the person is looking for long term in their career, in their personal life, in where did they just move to the area? Why? What was the objectives in their life? The main thing. If they just got married, this is like important stuff to know as an employer. We hired someone earlier in the week, a guy for the crew. And he's getting married in July. Like, there are things you need to know about an individual because they're going to be making certain decisions and they're going to have certain preferences because of certain life altering things they're going through. Like, getting married is kind of a big deal, and so obviously now he's looking for a more stable job. He's looking for a place that he can grow with, a place that he can raise a family under. So these are important things for anybody that's getting a job. It's more important for you as the employer to make sure you ask not the hard questions, but the questions that aren't necessarily black and white, aren't necessarily dollars and cents, aren't on a resume. Because if you know those questions, you can put people in positions in your company. They're going to put them in the best place to succeed, and thereby put your company in the best position to succeed long term. And so that first day of hiring, they're with me the whole day. They get to see me doing sales. They get to even see me do like other stuff like HR stuff or like hiring or, other meetings that I have. And they get to see me bouncing around from office to office. They get to see kind of a day in my life. I take them out to lunch. At that lunch, I talk about the history of the company, more about like deeper than even what I talked about in the interview process. Because that's, we do that already. But go deeper into that. I really kind of give them more about me personally, as far as what I'm all about, my story, as far as stopping medical school and kind of the whole ethos behind starting the landscaping, what our future is looking like, and my like the obsessive thing around our team and the building of that team being more important than the profitability and that sort of side thing. And like very, very honest, open, a little bit vulnerable, getting with them, opening them up, opening myself up to them, and you really get to know them as a person right from day one. And the lunch is always super cool with them. Coming out of that, you feel like literally so much further ahead than if I just look at their resume, hire them, first day, walk them around the office, introduce them, and make them fill out paperwork. And every single individual that we've done this with the first day, they always walk away. Like, for our industry, this is unheard of. So for other like tech companies, this might be like a week-long orientation of stuff like that, right? But for our industry, this is like completely unheard of to take an entire day with a new employee, regardless of where they're at in the company, and to really let them see the behind the scenes and the financials and all that right from the get-go. Like, we're putting so much upfront energy into our new hires, like regardless if they're just pushing a lawnmower or if they're in the office or whatever they're doing. Like, they are getting a lot of energy and a lot of resources, my time, which is kind of like a valuable thing. And so they are getting all of that upfront. They're getting, by the time we put all the time into interviewing them, screening them, questioning them, giving them the ethos of the company, then hiring them, onboarding them with like paperwork and all that good stuff, and then buying them uniforms if they come to a career fair or they come to a work bee kind of thing. Like, by the time we do all that, we've invested hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We've invested a lot of time, and this individual feels like, hey, this company has not extracted $1 of value from me, and yet they're willing to put so much time and effort and energy and resources into making me feel a part of this business, making me feel part of this team. And that is important for your people to be thinking about, to be seeing you putting in the upfront effort in the relationship. I promise you get better returns from the people going forward. Day 2, they are coming to work. They know about the company. They know why they're coming to work. They know the drive and the mission and the purpose of the company and what you're all about. And then when they see me driving around a truck all day, they know what I'm doing. They don't think I'm just like, chilling out with my AC down next to the ocean half the day and, stopping for lunch every once in a while. Like, that's not the case, and they see that, and they realize, they get the ethos. Like, why is it that we're trying to become more efficient? Why is Mike trying to allocate all his positions out to other individuals and find all the gaps that he can fill with people instead of him doing it himself? Like, they start figuring this stuff out and start thinking like me in the sense of a CEO trying to figure out how the company should work and not just how they should, push their lawnmower around all day. So that is super important, getting buy-in from them up front. And I truly believe that people need to spend more time up front with their employees when they first get hired than spending time either A, when they want to leave, and now you're trying to save them from leaving, or B, when they leave on like good terms and you're throwing a big party and everything, everyone's like so happy for them. Why not throw the party day one? Why isn't it when they come to the office, their name isn't on the board, there's balloons, there's a card, people are welcoming them, there's food for everyone in the office because the new hire has arrived, and everyone's patting them on the back, everyone knows their name. That employee gets to talk to the whole team and tell them a little bit about themselves, what they're passionate about, what their hobbies are, what the big things are happening in their life are at that moment. Why is it that we wait till the end of the relationship when you can't change anything? You can't change if they were not purpose-driven and coming to work under the mission statement of the company and giving themselves 100%. You can do that at the beginning. You can do that first day and get them on track and have a much more valuable employee to the company, and then have them have a much more successful relationship and feel like they're more a part of things, feel like they are able to contribute more to the team, being able to feel like they're part of the team. This is important stuff. And so it's not something we talk a lot about. A lot of times we talk about how to find people and hire them, and how you can find a great team and hire great people. But the first day of orientation and how that goes down, if I was you, I'd create a system around it, and I'd make sure that it was going to work. I would make sure that it was going to work for your company and your culture, that you were going to get them orientated to the business, your mission, the people within the organization, introduce them to other people. Yes, but why not give them a little more time and get to know that individual? What's the person within your organization up to? What's their, get to know people right from day one and make them feel part of the team, buy into your ethos and what you're all about, and you get to know them on a personal level so you have money in the bank 2 weeks from when you hire them, and you got to show them an area they can improve in. So after a week to 2 weeks, they have a meeting with me, and I kind of just more informal, and I kind of go over how everything is going, how, is there things I can help them with, improve their working conditions? Is there ways that they need to be improving in their employment? And then after 1 month, they actually have a sit down with me, and we go over that same thing, and we kind of have metrics as far as how they're doing and things like that. And so they have a very clear picture of how they're doing. Are they meeting expectations? Are they lagging in certain areas? Where can they improve? Where are they doing great? And it's a very much of a process that makes them feel a part of it. People want to know how to get better. I genuinely believe it's right from a child all the way through adolescents and teenagers, and right up through when people get older and they're in careers and all that good stuff. People want to know how to get better. I genuinely believe that. I kind of think intuitively that I kind of give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I give everyone, as if everyone was good and did everything right. I kind of give them that benefit of the doubt right up front until they prove otherwise. And so, but in general, I believe that people are wanting to contribute to you as a company, wanting to do that, but you got to give them the resource and the abilities and the time, and invest in them to tell them how to improve, to tell them where they are falling short in the company. They want to know. And if you don't tell them, it's almost a slap in their face. And I think it's disrespectful to fire someone when months before, or beforehand, they knew exactly where they were falling short. They knew that on their annual review there were certain areas that you needed them to improve on. And if they don't follow up on those things, then they can be expected to be left, to be fired down the road. I think it's a real lack in our companies, in our small businesses, that we fire people without communicating what we want them to change years, months, weeks in advance, and giving them the opportunity to improve, giving them the opportunity to change. People want to know how to improve. That's why report cards have been around for so long. I know they're trying to kick them out of schools now as far as self-assessment and all that stuff, but report cards are great because it gives the student the ability to know where they need to improve, where they are falling short, what areas they need to study more in, what areas they're doing phenomenal in, and it gives them the people want that. I always loved my report card in school. Whether or not it was great or bad or good or whatever, I always was the guy when I was at college and they would like grades would get posted, I was the guy that was like right on there trying to figure out what my grades were, because I want to know, like, how did I do? Where did I compare to everyone else? And where can I improve? How can I get better? And I generally believe that most individuals appreciate feedback. And if you give it, and if you make it a setting, and if you have a relationship with that individual that's beyond just working, isn't beyond like a boss thing, and you don't feel like when you come to them with suggestions and improvement, they don't feel like you're talking down to them. It can be very valuable for the individual. It can be very valuable for their career, their skills, and it can be very valuable for you as a business owner and a company. So that's all I wanted to share with you. I want to talk about that first day of hiring, why it's so important, and I believe that there's too much emphasis put on when people leave versus the first day, when we should be throwing parties and we should be talking nice about them, and everyone should be talking with them and laughing it up the first day. Get them incorporated into your business as soon as possible so they feel part of the team and they can contribute on a level beyond just labor, or they're just punching a time clock. They come to work knowing why they're there, why you are there as the business owner, and why everyone else comes to work, and they buy in. This is Mike Andes. You've been listening to Business Bootcamp Podcast. Check out landscapebusinesscourse.com/conference. If you are a landscaper, I'd love to see you in person. Until next time, be great, because nothing else pays.